All right, cool. So I think we have two types of people here. We have the people who have heard about freelancing before, and we have the people who are just hearing about freelancing and they're just here curious to know what's up, right? So before I dive in, I would like to lay down some rules. First of all, everyone here is muted, right? Because when I came into the room, everywhere was rowdy. You could see that, right? So if we want to go through this quite smoothly, then everyone is going to be muted. Second thing, if you are managing 50 MB, 100 MB, I don't know, I don't think this takes too much basically, but like if you are under that category, then this is not for you, right? Because we're going to be spending at least an hour to an hour, 30 minutes here. So I don't want to look in the comment section and I'm saying, sir, blah, 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 my data wasn't finished, right? I don't want any of those kind of things. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen right now and we can actually begin. Okay, so sharing my screen and let's begin, okay? Cool. So if you can see my screen and you are ready for us to get started on this webinar, type the number 2 in the chat box. Let's proceed. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love the energy I'm getting here. All right. Okay, all right. So let's begin. So you're welcome to today's webinar. Now on today's webinar, let me mute this by the way. Now on today's webinar, you're going to be learning how to get paid between $500 to at least $3,000 every month, working for foreign clients in first world countries as a freelancer in Nigeria with just your smartphone. So this is tailored specifically towards those who want to work and earn a living from their phone. Maybe you don't have a laptop, you don't have any of those things. When I started freelancing, I started from my smartphone, right? I was using an Infinix Hot 5 then with a broken screen. That's where I started from. And the service I was offering back then is something called copywriting. We're going to go through all of these as we go further on today's presentation, okay? Now, the goal of this webinar is to help you understand what freelancing is and to see the numerous possibilities that you can get financially from working with foreign clients and how you can upgrade your finances directly from your phone, from anywhere you are. Whether you're using an iPhone, you're using a Samsung, you're using itel. As long as it has internet and it can do one or two things, can download apps from Play Store and those are kind of different things, it can work for you, okay? Now, if you stay until the end of this webinar, you're going to get two things. Number one, you're going to get a special bonus from me specifically for those of you who would stay until the end of this webinar. This secret bonus is something that can accelerate your growth in as little as a month. So you want to stick to the end of this webinar to get what it is, right? And two, if you start until the end of the webinar, you will learn things like what freelancing is and how you can get started from your phone, where to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in dollars, how to choose a profitable skill to sell as a freelancer on your smartphone, and how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, right? I'm going to give you the secret methods that both me and over 3,000 plus of my students are using to actually get these high-paying clients online, okay? So what makes this webinar different? What makes this webinar different is that you get to learn directly from someone who has actually walked the talk, right? I understand that it's easy for anyone to come on the internet and say, hey, this thing, I've made over 10 million naira in the course of my career, but like, you are not seeing it, right? But like, you can see me here live. You can see my apartment, right? You can see I'm currently based in Dubai, by the way. I relocated to Dubai earlier this year. And all the profits, all the money I used to go to Dubai came from freelance. And I'm going to show you how you can actually do that, right? And if you look on this page, you can see a screenshot of my earnings on Upwork, and that's just one platform I use as a freelancer, right? I'm going to show you how you can use it. And you can see over $13,000 there, right? But that's just a screenshot, right? I'm not sure if Walter, is that your screenshots? So let's go into my Upwork accounts and we can look into it, okay? So wait for this to load up. So this is my Upwork account, cool. Okay, so let this load up. Why is this always happening when I'm on a webinar? Profile, cool. So as you can see right here, 95% job success score, over $16,000 earned. I've done over 12 jobs in 604 hours, right? I earned this within the space of 5 months. So Imagine making $16,000 within the space of 5 months as someone who is into freelancing. And for the most part, the kind of jobs and high income skills I'm going to be showing you today can easily be done on your phone. That's why I said this is specific to those who want to use their smartphone. If you don't use your smartphone, that's fine too. The client's acquisition strategies I would show you can also help you. But if you're someone who you need something that you can start from your phone, and this is very important for you. So I've shown you a profile, my profile with over $16,000. I've shown you these rights. So let's proceed. Now, before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Walter Enyinnaya. For those of you who are seeing me for the first time, I'm a top-rated plus freelance copywriter. I'm an 8-figure freelancer in Naira. Please put in Naira. One day we'll get there in USD, but for now we're in Naira, right? Mentor to over 3,000 plus students who have collectively made over $2.5 million in the past 1 year with my teachings. I'm also a client acquisition expert. So in case these 3,000 plus students who have made over $2.5 million seems to confuse you in any way, I want you to know that it's not of anything difficult, right? So I have over 3,000 students. Now, let's say you are my student and you get your first gig at $1,000, and that's a retainer gig. So you and that client get to work from today, which is October 23rd, I think, down to the end of next year, right? So you get to work with them for like 12, instead of 12 months, you get to work with them for 13 months. Over the course of 14 months, and that client is paying you $1,000 every month. That client has paid you over $14,000. So I have students who in the course of their career have made over $30,000 from freelancing. I have students who have done way more than that, right? I have students who have done less. I have students who have done 10K. I have students who have done 12K. And I'm going to be showing you their proof here. And this also can be you if you stick with me until the end of this webinar. But before any of these things, it wasn't always like this for me, right? Here is how it all began. So this was me back in 2018. I was working with low-paying Nigerian clients. I was being underpaid and I was a struggling copywriter. So if you look at this picture, you can see how lean I look here now. Like me and Sapa were shaking hands every day. I was managing 5,000 naira a month. So like if you see food to eat well, you thank God, right? And if you look over here, you can see the phone I was using. I don't know if you guys can recognize it, but that's the Infinix Hot 5. This is the phone I was using then. This is the dawn of my freelancing career, right? 2018, right? And during this time when I started, things didn't start going immediately good for me when I started. It actually went worst for me because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was working with Nigerian clients. I had to drop out of school due to insufficient funds, and I had to move into a mod house. I was living in a mod house for a certain period of time, right? Like here's a picture of the mod house on the day I moved out. I took this picture on the day I moved out around early 2019, okay? And not just that, let me show you guys something, right? So if we go over to let me show you a video. I don't know if this will allow me share the sound of this video. Let me see something. So stop share first, and let me share my screen again so you guys I can show you something, right? So share sound. Okay, cool. All right, so let me just show you the debilitated state of this models where I started.
Guys, so I'm just recording this video because currently, as you can see, this place is a mess, man. Yeah, this is where I currently live. It's actually a mod house, actually. You see, it's mod house. So just want to take.
All right, so I'm not even going to play the whole video. You can hear the voice there. You can tell it's mine, and I want us to move along to the next thing, right? So you can tell it's mine. You can see the deprecated of that mod house, and that's where I start. Now, if you're attending this webinar right now, that means you either have a phone or you have a laptop you're using to attend this webinar, and you have internet connection that you're also using to attend this webinar. So basically, you have no excuse as to why you should not be making, even as bad as a bad pass, like worst case scenario, $500 every month in this current economy. $500 every month, if we do the current mathematics, 755 times 500 is 377,000, right? I'm going to show you how you can take this leverage of earning in a first world country income and spending in Naira and how vastly it can improve your life. So until I learned how to freelance properly and land high-paying foreign clients who paid me in dollars, I was still struggling. But now I'm able to live the lifestyle I want. I've been able to relocate to the UAE, Dubai, before this whole ban thing came, right? Because I've made over $200,000 in the last 4 years freelancing. And I'm going to show you exactly the blueprint I used to do this. Okay, so here's just a simple screenshot of a transfer I got from my exchanger I used back when I was in Nigeria, right? So you can see it right here, 4.2 million naira. Like, hey, dear Enyinnaya Walter, we wish to inform you of a credit transaction on your account with us and the blah, blah, blah. So you can see it here, right? That's my name, that's my account. And this was a picture I took at the Dubai Sky View Observatory, right? This was me walking the Dubai Edge Walk, yeah, scary stuff. And this is still me on that same day. And this is basically, these are just pictures showing you proof of where I stay, right? Let's move on to the next thing. Now, the best part of this freelancing thing of ours is that not only has it just worked for me, or not only have I been able to get this type of transformation, but my students also have been able to get this type of transformation in very little time, right? Take 𝘍𝙍𝙄𝙆𝙄𝙍, for example. So 𝘍𝙍𝙄𝙆𝙄𝙆, you can see him here, right? This was his first message he sent to me back in 16th of September 2021. So that's like a year ago, right? Cool. Hi, Walter, please send me the freelance webinar, blah, 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 how to get high-paying clients as a freelancer in Nigeria, right? Total newbie. He didn't know anything about freelancing. He wanted to get into freelancing and the rest of that. This was the second message he sent to me when he made payment for one of the classes I was holding back then. Good afternoon, sir. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you a while. I had an accident. So even despite the accident, he still went ahead with the decision, right? Cool. And he made payment. This was when he made it. So he went from this, and the day he made payment was 2nd of October. So that is basically like a year ago, 2nd of October 2021, right? To this, over $20,000 done via freelancing. So you can see it here, 𝘍𝙍𝙄𝙆𝙄𝙆, he works $20 per hour, $20,000 plus earned. And if you look at this, I got this testimonial on the 23rd of August, 2022. So in less than a year, he has made over $20,000. Currently, he's above $25,000 in the space of 1 year, right? So obviously, before the end of this year, he's going to get up to like $35,000 from what I'm saying, if he keeps up with the good work. And in the space of 2-3 years, he should have done at least $150,000, or even way more than me, who has done only about $200,000 within 4 years, right? So why am I showing you all of this? I will get to it shortly, right? So you can see it's still the same person, 𝘍𝙍𝙄𝙆𝙄𝙆𝙄𝙆. It's still the same person, right? Let's move on to the next one. So here's one of my students like, hi, Walter, I hit $5,000 today on Upwork. So 17 total jobs, 205 hours. And I was like, let's go. I'm super proud. And with the tips you gave, I've finally able to achieve this today. This person made over $800 on one single gig. And here is another person, Anetiti F. Young, who made over $1,000 working 10 minutes every day. So $1,000 every month by working 10 minutes every day. Some days it doesn't work at all. He's a social media manager. You can see his testimonial here, right? Cool. And here is one of my favorite testimonials from Samuel Kokumo, because he's like, boss, good evening. This is just a random appreciation message. You could have kept your knowledge to yourself and not share with us. Your selflessness is changing my life. I owe you another testimonial video coming this month. And I think I'll try and show you his testimonial video so you can, at the end of this, so you can get acquainted with it, right? So to make this even better, this isn't a one-off type of thing, right? Just because you get your first gig or you get paid $2,000 or you've made $2,000 in your career in 3 months as a freelancer or 4 months as a freelancer, doesn't mean that in 1 year from now you haven't made over $20,000 or you've not made more money consecutively, at least $1,000 every single month, right? Doesn't mean you won't get paid more and above that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that this works. What I'm about to teach you currently in the next few minutes actually works. You have seen unrefutable proof that it has worked for me. It has worked for tons of my students who have made thousands of dollars online. And sincerely, I believe it can work for you too, but that would be entirely your decision to make, okay? Now, the question is, would you want to go through all I went through, or would you choose the simpler, faster, and more straightforward method that my students are using to achieve these lightning speed results in no time? And I would like you to respond with a firm yes in the chat box if you want the faster method that my students are using to achieve these results. So simply type yes in the chat box if that's what you want, and we can proceed. All right, cool. Let's proceed. I love the replies I'm getting. You guys are really active. All right. Now, one more thing before we dive in. You might be wondering whether you can or you cannot do what I'm about to share with you today. And this is a valid concern, because what you really want to know is this. Will this time be different? Will you finally be able to get the solution you've been looking for all this while? Because chances are that this is not the first time you're coming across a make money online opportunity, right? I don't believe if you can use Zoom to join this, and that means you are a little bit internet savvy, right? That's why I choose Zoom for my webinars, because some people are like, what is Zoom? I'm like, if you don't know what Zoom is, you cannot do freelancing. That's like it, right? So this is probably not the first time you're hearing about make money online opportunity. I usually want to know if this will be the one you want that can work for you, or this will be the one you go forward with, right? If this be the final end to all your stories and the rest of that. Well, I believe that you can. And as we go through this presentation, I'm going to show you how this unique approach seems to have worked for different people from different backgrounds, all with their own unique set of challenges, right? So look for that, and it should show you that these two can, you two, in fact, can do this. So now on that note, let's get started. What is freelancing, and how can you get started freelancing using your phone, right? Awesome. So freelancing, in the normal definition, is basically you working for multiple people under contracts, right? So you are not employed by 9 to 5, so you can work with multiple clients under contracts. So to simplify this, it means you are not tied to one particular company and you are allowed to work for other companies doing the same job over and over again, right? That's basically like the simplest definition of freelancing. You can work with other people under contracts, right? But now here's the catch. Freelancing, for how I define it to my students and people who get to talk with me, is you working with clients in the first world countries. If you don't know what first world countries are, they are countries that are most powerful economically, right? USA, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and the rest of that, right? These are countries you are going to be working for and offering high income skills, right? Now, the benefits of this and the leverage of this is quite simple. If you, let's take, for example, a freelancer that you might not even know is a freelancer, is basically this thing. Someone you might not even know is a freelancer. It's basically, what do we call it? The person who is a plumber in your area, right? Or your gen repair guy, the person that repairs your generator. He is a freelancer. He's not exclusively tied to repairing only your own gen to make money. He repairs it for other people, right? But like that's a small fraction of it, because even if he repairs like 20 generators in a week, he still might not make up to 100K in profit from what he's doing. But that's basically how freelancing works. But in our case, we're going to be learning, number one, high income skills. These are the secret formulas that I and my students use, right? High income skills to get them. I'm going to tell you what high income skills and the rest of that are in the next slide of this. And we're going to be targeting it to foreign clients. So instead of you doing one thing for, what do we call it? Instead of you doing one thing for Nigerians and you're struggling to make 100K a month, 200K a month, 300K a month, you can take that same simple thing. It can be as simple as writing emails. I've gotten paid $350 for writing something that took me less than a minute, right? It was a voicemail. You know, you both use voicemail, right? So I wrote a voicemail script, and that script took me less than 2 minutes to write, basically, except maybe if you want to say the editing and everything, let's say tops 10 minutes to write, and I got paid $350 for it, right? Awesome. So that's basically what I'm trying to tell you how. So in that case, what we're doing is we're selling high income skills to these individuals. So even if you're getting paid $500, which is very small amount of money to get paid in a month when you're working in first world countries, when it reflects back in your bank account in Nigeria, you are seeing 377,000 naira. That, my friend, is the leverage that you can actually use to scale up and make money online legally really, really fast. Okay? So that's it. So how can you get started with freelancing using just your phone? The first thing you want to do is you want to learn high income skills that can be done with your smartphone. There are different types of high income skills, right? There's UI UX, there's copywriting, there's social media marketing, there's technical writing, there's digital marketing and the rest of that. But not all of these skills can be done with your phone. Right? Cool. So what you want to do is you want to learn skills that are specific to this. And if you don't know which skills to learn, or you don't have any of these skills that can be done simply from your phone, don't worry about it. At the end of this, I'm going to show you how you can actually proceed with that, right? So that's it. So that's how you get started with freelancing on your phone. The next thing you want to do is you want to put yourself in the position where to find foreign clients, and not just any type of foreign clients. You're not going to say you want to work with foreign clients now. You say you want to go and work with Indians, except you're not tired of Sapa That's like this thing, right? You want to work with clients or businesses from first world countries. And like I said earlier, this is Canada, Australia, UK, United Kingdom, Germany, this thing, America, and the rest of that, right? These are where you find this type of clients. And I'm going to show you how you can actually utilize that shortly. So let's move on to the next. Now, where do you find these clients and companies that pay you in dollars? There are two main ways that you can actually utilize this. The first way is to use freelance platform like the one I showed you here, Upwork, right? This is a freelance platform. So you can go on Upwork. And by the way, take note of this, right? I earned all of this $16,000 I earned within 5 months using my profile, showing that I'm based in Calabar, Nigeria. That's where I was staying before I relocated, right? Cool. So let's continue. All right. So this is how you use. So there are two main ways you can actually find high-paying freelance clients. And number one is by using freelance platforms. Freelance platforms are basically where people come to post jobs looking for freelancers to work for them. So we have Upwork, we have Fiverr, we have freelancer.com. There are so many of them, right? But for the purpose of this, I'm going to focus mainly on Upwork because that's what I and my students use, right? So you can see native English, the person is looking for a native English managing editor or copywriter for the pet niche, right? And the person is looking for 30 hours a week. He doesn't give a particular amount he wants to pay. So I want us to look for something high paying here. Email copywriter needed for healthcare coaching program, right? Estimated budget $100 for it, which is not bad. That's like 70K. But like I said, if you're working with foreign clients, you want to actually make the most you can at the level of competency that you are currently on, okay? So this is one. Let's see if we can find on, and keep in mind, it might be a little bit difficult to find good jobs here because it's the weekend. We're still in Sunday, right? And it's currently what time here? It's currently 10 p.m. here in the UAE, right? And we're ahead of the United States and all of these countries. So these guys, they take their weekends very seriously. So you might not be seeing a lot of high-paying jobs, but come anytime from Monday, Tuesdays, I'm saying jobs that I think I've even seen one good one here. So this is a VSL and sales funnel copywriter for online course. This is a skill, this is a job that you can get completed on your smartphone. And the person is willing to pay you $40 to $75 per hour that you work on this project, right? So let's say this project takes you a week to complete, and within a week, you work 20 hours on this project. And you get the job at the lowest rate, right? $40 per hour for that job. So 40 times 20, that's 800, right? Cool. So for that simple job, you're getting, for a job that takes you this thing to complete, a week to complete, let's say it takes you a week to complete, you're getting paid $800. $800 at Nigeria's current exchange rate, which is 7.55 to $1, is 604,000 naira in one single week. This is the leverage that it gives you when it comes to freelancing, right? And this is how you can use freelance platforms to find clients. Now, the second way that you can actually use to get or put yourself in front of clients who are foreign clients is via social media platforms, and specifically LinkedIn, LinkedIn and Facebook, right? So I'm going to be showing you how you can join Facebook groups, relevant Facebook groups. If you still use Facebook or you don't use Facebook, then you might have to resume Facebook after this class, right? So on Facebook, you want to put yourself on relevant groups where people who are looking for jobs can find you. Like, here's a simple example of what I mean. So let's say I am a graphics designer, right? And you too, you're a graphics designer. Now, we go on Facebook to find people from first world countries who will hire us, right? You join a group called graphics designers, right? Graphic designers and blah, 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 maybe all kind of things, right? And you get your first job, maybe your first job, $100, $200, and the rest of that, right? That's really small money. And then I myself, I go on Facebook, and instead of joining a group called graphic designers, I join a group called e-commerce store owners. Now, I know that these guys, they're going to have Instagram accounts running for their business, and they need someone to design all of these posts for them. Or I join a group called YouTube creators, right? And now these guys are posting videos on YouTube. So they are looking for someone to create thumbnails for them. Now, what I've simply done by joining this group is not only have I managed to separate myself from them, I've also been able to position myself in a way I can choose my own prices and get paid way more than the average person will when it comes to freelance, when even though we're still doing the same job. right? Even though we're still doing the same graphic design as a freelancer. That's it, right? So with that being said, let's move forward. So how do you choose a profitable skill to sell as a freelancer on your smartphone, right? Because like I said, you want something that you can do from your phone. And one example I showed you guys just now was this VSL funnel listing, right? Where the person is, it's an hourly job of $40 per hour to $75 per hour, right? And you can look at this again. This is another one, writer for Shopify store, packaged food products and fitness. He said, person is willing to pay you $20 per hour to $50 per hour, right? For a 30 hours per week job, right? So even if you get this second one, basically you get this job at 20 times 30 every week, you're making $600 every week. And that's basically $2,400 a month. $2,400 per month by its current exchange rates is 1.8 million naira every single month from your phone, because you are going to be doing this from your phone. You're going to be writing directly from your phone. There's nothing so complicated there that you can do with your phone, right? Even the softwares that you need, you can download it on your phone or you can run it online with Chrome on your phone. I'm going to be showing you how you can actually do that, right? So how do you choose a profitable skill to learn? Because not all skills are getting you paid like this. It's because I'm a copywriter, I can see something like this, right? If you're an article writer or like an average writer, you're not going to see someone who wants to pay you $20 per hour for you to write for them. No, what you'll be saying is $5 per hour or even less, right? Or you'll not be seeing somebody who wants to pay you $40 per hour for you to write for them. Cool. So now what you want to do is you want to learn what I call high income skills. So high income skills are skills, by my definition, and what I use for my students that separates us, is a skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars, and number two, has high demand. You want to meet both of these criteria if you want to make the most money freelancing, right? So if you have a skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars, but it's not in high demand, it might take you a long time before you get your first job. And even after you get your first job, maybe it's a one-off gig, or maybe the client after like 3 or 4 months or a year, the person's like, all right, let's take a break. It's going to take you on that longer set of period of time for you to get your next job, right? So like that's not really something you want. Like you can get paid thousands of dollars for it, that's for sure. But if you want to spend that much of a long time looking for jobs, then that's fine, but that's entirely your decision. The second thing, if you get a job that has high demand, so a lot of people are looking for writers, right? Or specifically copywriters, but you're not getting paid high for it. Let's say you are learning one random writing skill, article writing, or I don't know what to call it again, right? But any other kind of things, right? And you have a job like that, you can find yourself always with jobs, right? I'm sure we have all these friends who are a little bit good at graphic design, who are doing graphic design for 3K, 5K, 7K, and the rest of that, right? I mean, sure, they always have jobs. They always have little 4K a year, 5K a year, 2K a year, and the rest of that. But are they rich? Are they saying serious money? No, because what they have is a job that has high demand, but does not have the ability to get them paid thousands of dollars, right? And sometimes you might have a skill set or a high income skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars, but because you are selling it to the Nigerian audience, it's still keeping you and suppressing you down, right? So like I said, you want to make sure that it hits these two criteria. Can get you paid thousands of dollars, is also, what do we call it? Can get you paid thousands of dollars and also has high demand. Once you have these two criteria, it's awesome for you because it's going to be harder for you to fail. The importance of this is that you're going to get your first job faster when you have a skill like that. It's harder for you to fail. It's also easier for you to make more money faster because it matches these two criteria, okay? Cool, so that's how you pick a skill. So examples of skills are like that you can do on your smartphone is ghostwriting, copywriting, technical writing, content writing, graphics design for smartphone is there, but it's not totally perfect, right? And transcription, I'm not going to add that into it, right? It's mainly writing skills that you can actually do and sell directly from your smartphone that will get you paid. You can also be a social media manager and a digital marketer. That is also a method of skill that you can do directly from your smartphone. But sometimes those tend to require this. But if it's something like writing, rarely does it ever require you to have a laptop, except it shows you don't want to use laptop and the rest of that, okay? Cool. So let's move on to the next one, which is how to position yourself. Okay, I think I already tackled this one, right? And the next one is how to choose what niche to work in as a freelancer in Nigeria, right? So when you want to choose what niche, if you don't know what niche is, just think of it as simply the industry you want to work in. If you want to work for the financial industry, or you want to work for people who are crypto businesses that are dealing with Bitcoin, or you want to work for people who are selling health supplements, they are selling protein supplements and the rest of that, those are the kind of niche you're talking about, right? So when it comes to something like this, what you want to think about is quite simple. You want to think about, number one, how much money is flowing in this industry. Very important, right? Because if you are if you are in an industry where there's not a lot of money flowing where there's not a lot of money flowing for the skill set you're offering, that might affect how fast you get your progress, right? So you want to think how much money is flowing in this industry. So in the financial industry, there's tons of money because there's crypto, there's people who are content creators, there are coaches, there are wealth coaches, there are people who are doing investments and the rest of that, right? And these people are, there's like a shit ton of money being flowing in and out of that industry. So for you to cut your piece, you can offer to write their emails for them, offer to write their blog post for them, or offer to write their social media post for them, right? Cool. So that's one. The next thing you want to think about is your affinity for it. So this is not entirely a necessity, but if it aligns with you, that's the best. So let's say someone who is a medical student here right now, that person will be more inclined to basically write for the health industry, or write for the health niche in a nutshell, right? Because they have some ideas about it and the rest of that. Someone who is an accountant or who is studying accounting in school, or who studied accounting in school, might want to lean towards that other direction, right? Cool. So let's proceed. So that's how you choose it. You want to make sure there's a lot of money in that industry. And number two, you want to make sure that if your affinity aligns with it, that's fine. And you also, number three, sorry about that, I almost skipped that. Number three is simply, you want to make sure that your skill that you're offering, or whatever service it is you're offering, it's quite relevant in that industry you're focusing on, right? So something as simple as that would be, if you are a graphics designer now, you might not do that well working for law firms, right? Because they don't need that much graphics, they need more of written stuff and the rest of that, right? So you might not have a lot of jobs, but if you're a graphics designer now, and you work for YouTube creators, people who are posting videos on YouTube every day, right? They need people who can design thumbnails for them. You're working for e-commerce brands, people who sell stuff online, or businesses who sell stuff online. They have Instagram accounts, they have Facebook accounts, they have Twitter accounts, and they need to make posts that are engaging and visual, right? There's tons of job for you in that. So you want to consider those three things when you want to choose a niche to work in as a freelancer, okay? Now, if you are still with me up to this point and you're eager to become a high-paid freelancer from your smartphone, and you've loved what you've seen so far, then you are in for a treat, okay? Because I have something extremely special for you that most people would never get the opportunity to have, and they will never get the information ever, right? You agree with me that it's been a time well spent so far. I can't cover everything up in an hour's webinar, even if we had all day. Here's a special offer that you can get, so you can get everything you need to know. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you a very special deal. And I'm also going to give you the promise I made to you at the beginning of this webinar, okay? But before I proceed, please note, don't let old habits stop you from taking advantage of what I'm about to share with you right now, right? So what are old habits? Old habits could be, can I do this or can I not do this? I'm going to show you people who come from different backgrounds, people who are single mothers, people who are married personnel who are actually doing freelancing, and you can draw from your own perspective if you can do it or not, right? Cool. So with that said, I would like to personally invite you to the Freelance for Smartphone course, right? This is a course I created earlier this year. I think that was around July when I listened, to help people who want to get started freelancing, but they're like, oh, I don't have a laptop yet. And I was like, that is not a problem, because when I started from my mother house and everything, I was only using my phone. So I don't see why that should be a problem for anyone, right? So to help you decide if this is for you, here's what you get when you get the course today. Module 1, you're going to get the Upwork Masterclass. Inside this module, you're going to learn everything to know about landing clients and getting approved jobs on Upwork. You will learn things like what is Upwork, how does Upwork work, how to get rated and approved on Upwork, how to set up your Upwork profile the right way, how to open an Upwork account. Because people charge 5K, 10K, 15K for this. And sometimes they still get banned because Upwork is trying to filter quality people into their platform, right? I'm going to show you how you can exactly do that, okay? How you can create an, listen, I'm going to show you how to draft winning proposals and mirroring versus listing, right? So I showed you a sneak peek of Upwork here, right? So that's something like this now. This is where Upwork is where you can get a job like this in this fitness space. And the person posted this job 3 hours ago, right? And the person, look at this, look at where my cursor is. Person, the average hourly rate this person pays people is $26 per hour. So if you want to apply for these jobs, if you're applying for it with like $25 per hour, and the person is looking for someone who can work at least 30 hours per week or less than 30 hours per week, right? So if you get a job at this, if you apply for this job right now, using the winning proposal template I'll be giving to you in this system, right? I mean, sure, you won't win every job you apply to, but your chances are significantly higher when you're using the templates, right? So if you apply for a job like this and you get the job and you get it at $25 per hour and you're working like 20 hours a week, right? That's still about $500 every week. And $500 every week for a month is $2,000. I don't need to say $2,000 is 1.4 million or so, 1.4, 1.5 million naira at Nigeria's current exchange rate when you receive your funding, right? Especially if you use a good payment processor. So that's it. So that's Upwork, and that's what you're going to be learning. That's where you're going to be learning how to get clients from. You're going to see a lot of jobs like that, whether it's copywriting you want to do, technical writing, or whatever skill set or service you want to offer. You're going to learn how to do that, right? Now, the main benefit of this you get from this model is the speed of progress and understanding. You will never have to worry about anything Upwork or spend time like the average freelancers. Because in anything, there are top 20% of freelancers who are making thousands of dollars and basically millions in naira. And there's the bottom people who say they're freelancers, but they're making $100 a month. Like, oh, they're making $200 a month at maximum, right? You don't want to spend time on that bottom feeder, and you want to scale up as fast as possible, okay? Now, in the next module, what you're going to learn is module 2, offer creation for freelancers. Now, this is one major, let me explain this for you. It's a very simple, simplified secret that takes you from both of us doing the same thing to both of us doing the same thing, but you are earning $200 and I am earning $2,000. And that is offer creation. This is what separates this and lets you set up your price, right? So that's simple. So let's say you are let's say you're a copywriter. I'm a copywriter, right? That's what I actually do. And let's say you come into this program and you want to let copywriters directly from me. That's fine. So you are a copywriter, I'm a copywriter, but I am working specifically for emails, people who are writing emails, right? Or I'm writing only emails for people who have businesses and need emails. And you put yourself as a generalist copywriter. Now, copywriting is such a high income skill that even if you put yourself as a generalist, there's absolutely no way you shouldn't be making at least $1,000 every month if you're getting clients, right? Cool. But now, me being a specialist email copywriter, I think I saw something about email copywriter on this job board just now, right? Okay, this is a VSL and sales funnel copywriter, not someone to write emails. But basically, email copywriter for healthcare coaching program. Me being an email copywriter, I can decide that, okay, since I'm working with only people in the healthcare industry, I can take that job. And for 5 emails are right, and emails are something that's always short, right? So 500 words or less, or if it's too much, 1,000 words. Any email that gets to 1,500 words, I don't know what I write in there, but it's not going to perform, right? So I take that particular skill. That's my offer. That's the offer I created, right? That's what I want to focus it on. I want to focus on email. I want to write emails for people who sell health supplements online. For every email sequence I write for them, I can charge them $500 to $1,000 or $2,000. Whereas if you are a generalist as a copywriter, it's going to be much harder for you to get that and much harder for you to get jobs using that same distance, right? So that's what this particular model helps you navigate through. This is what separates top freelancers from the other guys they offer. You don't get paid the most for being the best. I don't think I'm not the best copywriter in Nigeria, but I'm one of the most paid copywriters in the whole of Nigeria, right? You don't get paid the most for being the best. You get paid most for having the best offer, presenting it well, and executing it. I'm going to show you the best way to create an offer specific to the skill or service you are offering. And that's what you're going to learn in this module. You're going to learn what an offer is, how to craft an offer, what you need to do before creating an offer, the right way to present your freelance offer, what niche you can create freelance offer for, and lots more. So even if you're an entire newbie, that's not a problem. Okay. Now, the main benefit of this model is that you'll be able to charge more for your services and know something that 90% of freelancers are not doing. You're doing something that they are not doing. With just these two models, you should have a clear path to making at least $1,000 every single month. But there's still more. In module 3 of the freelancing for smartphone course, you're going to be learning the LinkedIn outbound client acquisition system. Inside, you're going to learn how to land clients using LinkedIn. So just in case, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't know what LinkedIn is, but peradventure, you have no idea what LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is a social media network where the entire workforce is on. So whether you are doing, whatever work it is you are doing, let's say you have a company and the rest of that, that's where people are, right? And the benefit of this LinkedIn platform is quite simple. CEOs are there, founders are there, co-founders are there. Basically, top decision makers are there, and you have access to them when you reach out to them. I'm going to show you how to use it and position yourself on LinkedIn to be able to reach out to these top decision makers. I'm going to show you how to do your outreach properly. I'm going to show you how to find these top decision makers and actually what to say to them. I'm going to give you templates that you just need to fill in the gaps and send to them, and how to start a pitch and how to build a massive audience on LinkedIn. Okay? Now, the main benefit of this module is to help you totally understand and dominate LinkedIn. But this isn't all that you get. I wanted to make this really simple for beginners and those who don't have a digital skill yet. So when you get into the freelance smartphone offer today, you are going to learn high income skills that you can utilize using just your smartphone. Now, pay close attention to this. The first high income skill you're going to learn, and pay because you don't want to do everything. You're going to pick just one high income skill. If you want to be a copywriter like me, that's fine, right? If you want to do technical writing, that's awesome. If you want to do content writing, if you want to do social media marketing or the rest of that, you pick one and use that to get clients. So the first high income skill you're getting is the kick-ass copywriting course. How to write copy as a beginner that will get you more sales, clients, and money than you can ever imagine. And the brilliant thing about copywriting is that it's a hybrid skill. So you can either use this to work for people or you can use this to work for yourself and still generate a shit ton of money in it with it, right? So here's one of my students, Keva, who is a copywriter. And she's like, I want to thank you because your course opened the way for me. I've earned over 3,000 plus from January to now. I have a job success score of 93%, and I'm just 19 to be 20, Walter. Thank you so much, right? And I got this testimonial at about, I think that should be like March or February this year. So basically, she was grossing over $1,000 every month, right? And as of then, she was making like maybe 600K every month, 650K every month at the exchange rate then, I think. But if you compare it to the exchange rate now, even if she's still earning just $1,000 every month now, she's making over 750K every single month. That's on that leverage you want to think about when it comes to freelancing or when it comes to earning in dollars, right? So high income skill number 2 you're going to get access to is this content writing and content marketing crash course. You're going to learn how to create and write simple content that goes viral for businesses. So this is quite simple. You're going to learn how to write blog posts, how to write emails, how to write social media posts that goes viral for businesses. So there are lots of businesses that need people to write for them, right? Like even your favorite brand you're following, maybe any kind of brand you can think of. Even Close Up is on Twitter and the rest of that. They need people to write blog posts for them. They need people to write articles for them and the rest of that, right? That's what you're going to be learning how to utilize and write in this particular high income skill number 2. So high income skill number 3 you're going to get is the technical writing course. This was most recently added to the HPF Academy, right? So in technical writing course, you're going to learn what technical writing is. Technical writing is the most, I would say, is the highest paying writing skill after copywriting. So when it comes to getting paid thousands of dollars online from writing, you don't want to just be an average writer. You can write stories, but stories are not that high demand, right? You want something that's, like I said, high income skill, thousands of dollars, tons of demand. Those two, very important. So you have copywriting first. Second thing you have here is existing technical writing, and then you have content writing. So in this, you're going to learn what technical writing is, how to become a technical writer, what niche and industry you focus on as a technical writer, how to come up with do your research as a technical writer, and how to find clients that you can be a technical writer for, or just position yourself on Upwork, right? And just to show you that this is not just talk, let's look for a job for a technical writer right here now, right? So let's see technical writer, right? So let's look for jobs, technical writer. Let's look for jobs for a technical writer, right? So you can see the first job we see here is UK English technical content writers willing to pay you $20 to $45 per hour, right? Research writer, not technical writer, a person willing to pay you $500 for a single job, right? And then we have ways like this every now and then that wants to pay you $8, but who is going to take that, right? Cybersecurity technical writer needed, willing to pay you $16 per hour to $44 per hour, right? Cool. Now, if we can also change this search from simply just this thing to find people who are doing technical writing, yeah, right, and see what they've earned. Cool. So let this load up, and then we're going to proceed. So here's someone who is a technical writer on cybersecurity. And they said he has earned over $3,000 plus on Upwork, right? This other person doesn't show that they are listed. This other person has earned over $300,000, over $60,000, right? And this person stays here in UAE, same place I stay, right? United States, over $300,000, $6,000. This person is a Nigerian, Philip O, right? $15 per hour. He has earned over $6,000 as a technical writer. And that's basically it, right? I'm even glad we got to see a Nigerian. If we filter for it, we can even find more Nigerians, and we're seeing a lot of this. So that's basically the type of skill sets you're going to be learning, and you're going to learn how to find clients like this on Upwork and LinkedIn and get a retainer job that can keep you afloat, right? Cool. So this is not for technical writing. This is for this thing. This is 𝘿𝙊𝙇𝙇𝘼𝙍. This is a content writer. One of my students is a content writer. He was like, now he just sent me the offer on Upwork. We've been using Upwork for the job, right? But it's still good for me though, if I'm to build momentum from them. Imagine my first gig on Upwork being $1,000. By the end of this month, I should be on $2,000. And truly, speaking with 𝘿𝙊 of recent, I think he was at $3,000 to $4,000 on this. Now, imagine if you become a freelancer today and the first job you get is basically you on gets you paid $1,000. How much more benefit would that add into your? How much benefit would you have from that, right? $1,000 at today's exchange rate is over 700 and something K, right? 755K for using the exact exchange rate. But let's say Upwork takes their first fees, they're getting your money at least 690K or 650K, right? Cool. Now, and a whole lot more skills are being added into the freelance for smartphone course, right? So currently we have only 3 high-income skills that you can learn now, which is technical writing, copywriting, and content writing. And now you might have noticed, Walter, all the skills you mentioned are writing. And I'm going to tell you, it's for a fact that if you want to make the most money and you don't have a laptop now, you're starting from scratch and the rest of that, then the best skill sets you can offer using just your smartphone is something that has to do with writing. Writers get paid a shit ton of money, and there is always hundreds of demands for writers. I just showed you live proof of that being done here right now, right? So that's why there's a whole lot more this thing. And as time goes on, we're going to add probably graphic design for smartphone, a ghostwriting course, and a social media management and handling for smartphone course that you can actually use. These are high-income skills that you can actually use to get clients to pay you, right? Cool. So moving forward, now with this knowledge at your fingertips, you can now become a modern-day money-making freelance machine directly from your smartphone. But that's not all. I still have some bonuses to give you today when you get the freelance for smartphone course today, right? The first bonus you'll be getting is lifetime access to the member support group, where I have my assistants who are answering your questions. You have about 700 other students who are in that particular group who have actually been doing it freelancing for quite a while. I can also help you answer your questions. And you get to be in a community of freelancers. So it becomes harder for you to fail because you have people who are like-minded and doing the same thing with you, right? So you get lifetime access to that group. Second free bonus you get is access to a list of apps and tools that you can use to make your freelancing on smartphone journey easier and how you can use them. These are softwares and apps and hacks I wish I knew when I started as a freelancer from my phone with no laptop, I couldn't afford a laptop or any of these things. I wish I knew all of these things when I started out, right? This thing, free bonus number 3 you get today is access to periodic meetings and coaching classes. You get access to every inner circle coaching class we've ever held on the membership group, and you even get recordings available to you. So the ones we're going to hold probably next week or next month, you get access to it. And the ones we've held before, you get access to the recordings too. Free bonus resource number 4, 10 evergreen outreach templates. These templates are awesome way to quickly craft outreach messages to potential clients and utilize and submit winning proposals on Upwork, right? Upwork and LinkedIn, you're going to get individual ones. In this bonus, you get access to 10 evergreen templates that you can actually and always utilize no matter the time of the day, no matter what skill service it is you're offering to reach out to these clients. You're going to learn how to do that, okay? Cool. So free bonus resource number 6 you get is how to work and design on Google Docs. Because if you are going to be a writer, most of this is especially for people who are going to be writers, right? You're going to write on Google Docs, and you need to learn how to present your writing in a very good way. It's appealing to the eyes of your client, not just to you. It's appealing to the eyes of your clients, and the clients can understand what you're trying to do. So I'm going to show you how to use Google Docs and the best ways and simple tricks and hacks that most average people do not know and how to use that, right? Then finally, free bonus resource number 7 you're getting is 3 payment methods to receive your money at the best rates. So currently now, if you look at the CBN rates, Naira to dollar should be about 450 Naira or 460 or 400 Naira to a dollar, right? But our black market rates, which is mostly what we are using, which is mostly what is causing inflation, it costs $755 to 755 Naira to a dollar. So basically, if you get paid $1,000 and you use any year exchange rate, maybe you use a direct withdrawal from Upwork, your money will come into your account at 450K, 470K. But if you withdraw with a good exchange rate, maybe you use Payoneer or you use any other alternative method to withdraw your funds, you're going to get your cash at least 700,000, 750,000, 710,000. Very important. A simple mistake in between these things can be costing you about 300,000 extra just because you didn't know how to do it, right? So you always want to consider that even if it's a smaller amount you're withdrawing, it can still cost you as much as 100,000, 50,000. And that would be useful because it's still your money you worked for, right? So as you can see, I've included everything you need to take your first step on the freelancer's part to earning at least $1,000 per project without you needing much experience, without you needing a job or a high-end computer, without you needing a degree, without you needing to wait for years at a Nigerian job, and without you having to be the most gifted in your industry. You don't have to be the most gifted in your industry. And finally, without you relying on luck, right? So please note, all of these materials are available in video, PDF, and recording formats. So how much does it cost to get into the freelance for smartphone course? In a minute, I'll tell you, but first, I want you to take a look at these testimonials, right? So here's one. 𝘍𝙀 is like, okay, I'm going to retain him, right? I'm coming to Dubai soon. And this thing from, I bless that message you from 8K Naira. He bought one of my classes back last year, which was 8K Naira, right? To $8,000, and it's still under a year, right? Cool. Here's another one of my students. He is a young guy. He's a teenager, basically. The client was asking him, I need a person full-time. How old are you? I'm 18 years old. Wow, that's good for you. You should be proud of yourself. That's what the client was telling him, basically. I can hire you for $750 a month. But first, I have to talk with this company, its partner, and they ended up hiring this guy, right? Now, if your first job is $750 a month, that's 566K. That is still good money. I don't know about what you define as good money, but I believe that if you're earning an extra 500K every month right now, you would drastically see how that will improve your finances, be able to afford the things you want and the rest of that, right? Cool. So here's another testimonial from the program. It's like, so you receive an offer, and the offer here is $400, right, for a job. Looking to hire a brilliant writer. Like I said, writers are getting paid a shit ton if you know what you're doing and you're offering a good writing skill as a service, right? So testimonial, Walter, you opened my eyes to what's possible on LinkedIn last year. Literally just signed my first contract with a client on LinkedIn, $1,000 monthly. I got this through outreach. Outreach methods I'll be showing you how to use specifically from LinkedIn and how to craft the offer to get things like this, right? But I have a second one too that came organically and blah, 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 right? So be honest to yourself. How much do you think it is worth for someone to show you how to land jobs like this, even if you've never landed a job like this, even if you're a newbie, and even if you have no skill, you're going to learn how to land jobs like this. You're going to learn the exact high income skills you need to use to land jobs like the ones I just showed you, right? Cool. Let's proceed. The set price to get into the freelance for smartphone course is 30,000 naira, right? But today, you're getting at the early bird price of just 20,000 naira. And that is for those of you who are attending this webinar. But that's not all. For those of you who will be paying 20,000 naira here, I want you now to reach back to the person who sent you the link to join this webinar and tell them you want to make payment now. For the first 10 people to actually make payments, I would have access to your email. I can track it on my listing, right? I am going to be giving you a special unique bonus that is only special to, like, it's basically a crafted template, my own personal templates that I use to get clients. I used to reach out to top decision makers and get them to respond to me in the fastest possible time. And this is only going to be available for the first, should I do 10? Maybe I should do 5. Since I already said 10, let's just leave it at 10 for the first 10 people to actually make payment today. So reach back to the person who sent you this link to join the webinar and tell them, hey, I want to make payments for the freelance for smartphone course, and they will send you access. I will be able to track it from here. I'll be able to track it from my phone here or track it from my laptop here. And I would contact you via email to send you access. Okay? And you still get everything mentioned here, right? Simply click on the link, simply reach out to the person that sent you access, that sent you this link to join this webinar, and the person should share you their link to get it, right? Now, one more thing. Here's some more testimonials I got from my students this morning. So this from one of my students, Annex Effiong. Like, I just got a gig of $2,000 and the client wants to make payment now. Now, this message he sent to me because he was looking for the best payment method to receive his money. Because like I said earlier, if you earn $2,000 and you receive it at official CBN exchange rates, you're receiving your $2,000 at 800 and 900K. If you receive it at black market exchange rate, you're receiving it at 1.4, 1.5 million naira, right? So like that's, imagine receiving at official CBN rates and you're losing out on like 500K extra, 700K extra. You don't want stuff like that, right? Cool. Here's another of my students, Elo. He was like, he's showing me his first payment, but they paid him through MoneyGram. So you have to go and withdraw it from bank. And that was $200, right? At today's exchange rate now, he should be about, this is still like 150K for his first job. I was impressed. He was impressed with the work I gave him, so he paid instantly. He still wants me to write small letters for him monthly, one email and the rest of that. So the clients still retained him, right? And let's look at on that testimonial. Yeah, this from JB. Is like, thanks, boss. I just got my first gig, right? God bless you, many more wins. Like a letter writing gig, $12 per hour for 30 hours a week, right? So $12 times 30, that's $360 every week. 360 times 4, that's $1,440 every month. $1,440 every month times current exchange rate is 1,087,000 naira currently, right? And even at worst case scenario, there's no way he'll be earning less than $1 million from this single job. All because he's working with foreign clients in international organizations, people who are in first world countries who paying you $1,000 every month it's not a big deal to them. But you can't get that type of job when you're working with Nigerians. Okay? So simply reach out to the person who sent you the listing to make payments. Now let's talk about frequently asked questions, and then I can take any questions you might have right here on this webinar, okay? So can I do this with my phone? Yes, this particular course is, in fact, the recordings are done on my phone and they're tailored to show you how to do it on your phone, so right? When is the program starting, or has it started already? It's an online program that will always be available to you as long as this page is up and as long as this is up, right? You get access to everything, including the skills and bonuses mentioned above. What if I have a job where I'm a busy student? Can I still do this on the side? Yes. You want to ideally be able to dedicate at least 2 hours every single day to getting on this. What if I don't have a digital skill yet? That's not a problem. There are currently 3 high income digital skills that you can learn while in this program to give you life updates, right? Sorry, let me just remove what's blocking my screen here. Am I going to pay for anything else? No, you're absolutely not going to pay for anything else. Upon payment, you won't be asked to pay for anything else, and neither will you need to, because freelancing requires no startup cost. You just need to have your phone and connection to the internet. How long until I get my first client and start making money with this? I can easily tell you you're going to get your first client in 2 weeks or less, and I have proof to back it up for my students, right? But here's the thing, not everyone will get their first clients that fast. Some take up to 1 month or more. The only thing I can guarantee to you is if you focus on implementing ruthlessly and patiently, you will get paying clients upwards of $1,000 per project and lots more as demand for your work grows, probably much sooner than you expect. Is this program only for copywriters? As you can see, no. And the testimonials are from people who are doing technical writing, social media marketing, copywriting, and the rest of that, okay? And finally, how long will I have access to everything I have promised you here? You're going to have a lifetime access to everything you are getting here today. So you can relax and go through this at your own pace. How long will it take me to go through the program? It depends on your hunger for success, but I don't see any reason why it should take you more than 15 days to actually go through it and start implementing. Do I need to go through every section of this program before I get my first client or before I start making money? The answer is no. You can just choose the Upwork section and choose a high income skill like copywriting. And when you combine both of them, you can easily start making $1,000 every month once you get the gears moving, right? Will the price of this course increase anytime soon? 100% yes. 20,000 naira is way too cheap for this, right? And as time goes on, I'm going to have to, actually once I update it to the foreign markets where I'll be charging in USD for it, the price is going to go up for the Nigerian markets, okay? And hopefully I've been able to answer all your questions. So what I want you to do for me is for you to send me any other questions that might not be answered here on the chat box, and I will be able to answer them as we are here, right? So is the program open to graphic designers as well? Yes, it is open to graphic designers, okay? Is architecture a digital skill that can pay digitally? 100%. You know, there are some things I didn't even tackle in this webinar. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go to Upwork and find architecture, right? 3D rendering and the rest of that. If you can do that, you are going to, right, architecture, right? But now, a little bit side of this thing that might affect you here, because this is for people who are architects here, Master of Architecture, $50,000 plus end, $30,000 plus end, $10,000 plus end, $30,000 plus end, $70,000, $100,000, and the rest of that, right? The only thing that might limit you a little bit is the amount of demand you ought to be getting, okay? What about we that can write? And I suggest you go for my other program, which costs 50,000 naira, which is the high-paid freelancers premium program. There you get access to skills like UI, UX design, you get access to digital marketing, and different other skills that you can actually use, right? Reach back to the person who sent you this webinar, and you'll be able to get it. Is this program applicable for a virtual assistant? Yes, I didn't put a virtual assistant testimonial here, but I have one of my top students, Frances. She's a single mother, and she is basically a distant, what do we call it? Sorry about that. So she is a virtual assistant. She is a virtual assistant, and she has made over $11,000 within last year, and I think September this year, right? You can make the payment tomorrow. That's not a problem. So it's just simply 20,000 naira, right? That's not a problem. I will share the replay link with the person who brought you to this webinar. So reach out to that person and the person should give you access, okay? Amaka said I should make my calls 10K. Amaka, please leave the group, leave the meeting now, I beg. Thank you. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff again. If you can't afford it, then that's fine. Apart from the proposal, how do we go about the attachment since I don't have any previous work executed? That is going to be taught to you inside the course. I'm going to show you how to create a mock-up portfolio so you have something to always show as reference to whoever wants to work with you or whoever you are discussing to work with. There is no 10K discount and there is absolutely no discount for this, please. 20K is a very reasonable price point. It's not tomatoes. Unless you are not serious about making money online, then you can leave it. It's not for everyone, right? Please understand that. Your school fees is definitely, anyone who is in school, your school fees is definitely more than 20K. You are going to spend 20K on something else, whether it's a shirt, maybe it's a shoe, maybe it's something in particular, maybe that we've on or that this thing you'll be looking for, right? So you either spend it on this, which you are sure it's guaranteed to give you returns as time goes on, or you spend it on something that in the next 1 week, you don't know how the money entered or where the money entered, right? When is the deadline for payments? Well, the deadline for payment is going to be this Wednesday for those of you who want to get my special bonus. Aside from that, you can pay anytime when you have 20,000 there, or if you pay maybe like next month when the price has increased to 30,000 naira, still fine. You are still getting more than enough value for what you're paying for. Okay. I'm not seeing any other questions. Do we have extra questions so I can go through this before we end the call? He's only on Twitter. The only way. So yes, that's because I'm not going to give you my personal number to contact me. So once you get in contact with the person who sent you to this webinar, you are going to be able to get the course from the person, and then you're able to get my contact from there. Okay. I'm seeing someone mentioning other things here. Yeah, I'm that person. So how do we get info for payments after today? Like I said, reach back to the person who sent you to this webinar, and you'll be good to go. Are we getting the course I prepared, or you reach it? Copywriting is a gem, that's for sure. And you're going to get the one, I'm the creator of the copywriting course, so you are going to get to learn it from me directly. Okay. This is a very smart question, and I love this. If everyone is sending the same template application and it happens that 2 people send the same, wouldn't it look the same type of way? No, it will not. And let me explain why. Number one, I don't just give you only templates to use. I also teach you different ways of reaching out to clients. I teach you something called mirroring and something called, I've forgotten the other just, but basically mirroring is you bouncing back the words that the client said to them in order to get them to see in their head that, okay, this person understands me. I also teach you how to get clients by asking the right questions, right? So a simple definition of this is, let's say you are a medical, let's say you have a headache and you meet a medical doctor. The first doctor is like, oh, you need surgery. Second doctor is like, you just meet doctor, like, you need surgery. They're going to be alarmed because why would you need surgery because of headache? But you meet a second doctor and doctor is like, how long have you had this headache? When did the headache start? Did you hit your head? Did you sleep this type of way? Is the headache more prominent on the right side of your head or on the left side of your head? And then that doctor finally says, all right, let's go with surgery. Which of these 2 doctors would you allow operate on you? Obviously, you're going to go with the second doctor because the doctor asked you questions that made you gain his trust and made you see, okay, this person is an expert and this person has some idea of what they're talking about, okay? So basically, to answer your question, you're going to get different methods for landing clients, and not everyone's going to do copywriting. Some people want to do copywriting, some want to do technical writing, want to do content writing. You are going to be all displayed different jobs too at different times. Okay. Okay, so do we have any other questions? You said the person is not responding. Why is the person not responding? Well, whenever the person is listening, I've seen your name, so I'll just try and bookmark it. When I see your list, and I'll add you up for the first 10. Okay. So questions. Yes, you are going to be trained for these skills. Yes, you are going to see a reason why you haven't gotten a job, right? There are so many reasons why you haven't gotten a job yet. It might be your profile, rarely ever is, but it might be. It's mostly because of the way you're sending your proposals or the high income skill or service you're offering, right? Or the type of clients you are making outreach to, or the types of job you are reaching out to. So you'll be able to go through all of those things inside the course, okay? Okay, I'm not going to recap. I will share the replay and you can actually go through it, okay? So I'm going to take a few more questions for like maybe 1 more minute and then we can end this call. The high income skills you mentioned, like copywriting, are they included in the course? Yes, they are. Can this help us select a niche? Yes, it will. I haven't replied you. Please resend your question so I can see it again. How can you make payments? You reach out to the person who sent you the link to join this Zoom meeting. Somebody sent you that link, right? Tell the person, hey, I want to make payment for the Freelance for Smartphone course by Walter, right? Send me the link to make payments and he will show you. Flutterwave is not working. Voila. See, no problem at all. I have the history or the archives of these, right? So that should not be a problem. You buy new connects now. Connect is not a problem, right? So questions. Okay, so in absence of questions, we are ending this meeting now. So it's been nice talking to all of you and the rest of that. And for those of you who will be getting inside, I've seen some few people who have gotten inside it. I will see the rest of you once you reach out to the person who sent you to this webinar and are able to get inside. And I'll see you inside, okay? So with that being said, I'm ending this meeting now. I didn't talk about transcription. There's no transcription in my program currently. And yeah, the recording will be available. Yes, it is in English and simple to understand. All right, so with that being said, you all have a great day and I will see you inside, okay? Ending the meeting now.